Hey guys, Swordsman here, and I'm bringing you some more delicious Guild Wars 2 footage. I am, as always, playing as the Guardian in some structured PvP. This time I'm on the same team as D crew members Athael and Jay Kaiser, and we're going to kick a little bit of ass. Now today is the day before the big Guild Wars 2 stress test. It'll take place for about 7 or 8 hours on Monday. And I hope you're all excited for that and looking forward to it. But I wanted to take some time and sort of remind people just how important support is going to be in Guild Wars 2, and I wanted to share some of my experiences from the past beta weekend. Like I said before, again, whenever I played my support Guardian in structured PvP, I lost a single match. And I know a lot of people, they see that they got rid of the Holy Trinity. Everyone was really excited that the Holy Trinity is gone, it's dead. And while it's true, there is no core dedicated healer that being a healer is all they can do, it's all their focus is, it's their sole purpose. I wanted to just take a few minutes here and put out a video to remind everyone just how important support is, that I think is being highly underestimated. And hopefully throughout this video you can see just how powerful it can be. For those of you interested in my build that I was using over the beta weekend, I will leave a link in the description of the video, you can check it out. But you can see for yourself, as the green numbers pop up, that it's healing I'm doing, and the way my traits are set up, I get all sorts of healing coming in on myself. I have lots of healing that goes out onto my allies. You can see the 216s ticking over and over. That is one of my virtues, that with having its trait, it applies to all of my allies around me, so they constantly have this uptick of health regeneration. And it becomes very powerful, especially when you're around more and more of your allies. And a lot of people seem to just be underestimating just how useful it can be. I've seen lots of Reddit threads or Guru forum threads and stuff just saying they used to play a dedicated healer in other games, they're not quite sure what to do in Guild Wars 2. And I really want to say I sympathize with that. I played a healer a good bit in other MMOs. I used to be a Holy Paladin, Holy Priest, Rune Priest in Warhammer, stuff like that. So it is possible to focus on healing. As you can see there on the platform, those were ridiculous amounts of green numbers coming out. And I think if you've ever played a dedicated healer and you're looking at Guild Wars 2 for how amazing it's going to be, and you want to figure out how to support your teams, you really owe it to yourself to look into how the Guardian plays. Because if you trade it properly, if you use the right weapon setups, I'm using the Mason, the Shield, and the Sword in the Focus, you can do a ton of healing and do a ton of support. You can set it up so every time you apply an Aegis to a teammate, you gain healing. Every time you apply a boon to a teammate, you gain your own healing. Every time my third mace swing goes off, I heal everybody around me. It just adds up. It's not like these big burst heals. That is a thing of the past. It's not like a Guild Wars 1 monk where you could have someone almost dead and then all of a sudden they just bring them right back to full health. It's just like, god damn it. You know what I mean? Everyone knows how that feels. That's gone. There's not so much spike healing, but there is sustain. And any of you that's ever played MOBAs or League of Legends or Dota 2 or anything like that, you're familiar with sustain. The team that has the most sustain, or the most effective sustain rather, can really end up turning the tides and making just the fight so much easier, because your teammates are staying in the battle considerably longer than the enemy forces if they don't have any sort of dedicated sustain. As you can see, even the Necro minions, just look at that constant stream of healing. It is very effective. It really does help. And when people are running around with 18 to 25,000 health, just being repeatedly ticked up for 200 hit points here, 170 there, you know, I put down my light fields, that way they can gain regen anytime they go into them. It really does add up, and I think a lot of people are really just underestimating how useful it can be. I included this video. It was a fairly one-sided affair, having the three of us communicating on Skype together. We didn't get to capture too many of the points, because once we had them, we held them for a considerable amount of time. But it didn't seem like this video had a good bit of actual combat where you could see the healing going out, the buffs going out, and it really is effective. And of course, I'm not saying that I'm some sort of uber good player. I'm about average at best, but if you've ever been a dedicated healer and you're trying to look at Guild Wars 2 for how you're going to fit into it, you definitely need to check out the support-based Guardian. And the fun part, for me at least, is that while I can be so important to my teammates winning fights and staying alive, I can actually kick a good bit of ass, because you are doing a considerable amount of damage, especially whenever you trait properly. I'm not saying my trait system is the only way to go, or it's the most efficient way to go. It worked for me, and if it worked for me, it might work for other people as well. Whenever I want to do the bigger burst of damage, I typically keep out the sword. That seems to work fairly well. Gives a little bit more power to the punches than the shield and mace, but your mileage may vary. With your virtue, every fifth, I want to say fifth attack, you will set your opponents on fire, and I have a trait that does considerably more damage to targets that are on fire. So it just all adds up to a bunch of small pieces coming together to form a greater whole, and it ends up being a lot of fun to play in this role. I have ways to teleport to a low health ally and create regeneration on them. I have an ability to bring somebody up from a down state without having to go and push F on them. I have, just a lot of utility. I am using the defensive elite skill that you plant yourself into place and you have a whole bunch of healing powers. My application of that skill was a little bit shaky in this particular video. It was fairly early on in using that particular skill. I do think after I get to practice it a bit more, hopefully tomorrow, it should be even more useful to me, even because it's not something that you can practice super well whenever you're just standing around and I don't know. It's definitely, oh, what's this button do? What's that button do? Oh, this is awesome. And it's like, oh god, it's gone. And you had to wait and try to use it again and try to find out the good moments to use it. But again, I'm just really excited about how the Guardian plays. It plays exactly how I'd hoped it would when I was preparing for the betas and going through all the little skill calculators that are out there and available and everything. It was a very fun time last beta weekend. I'm hoping to continue that success and enjoyment on the stress test tomorrow, and maybe you guys would be willing to try out playing a support role as well, because I'm telling you, dedicated healers are gone, but support is going to win a lot of these games, I think. So hope you guys enjoyed it. There's going to be tons more of Guild Wars 2 footage coming throughout the coming days and weeks leading up to the launch. If you happen to be viewing this channel for the first time, feel free to subscribe for some more Guild Wars 2 and variety of content. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.